कुमार स्वामी नायक गोंगो लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Good evening, Fiji. In this bulletin, stop wasting time. Rambuka tells fellow Sidelpa MP. State of some buildings, a major concern. And economic resilience and recovery tops Fiji's agenda.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
The new leader of the Social Democratic Liberal Party, Viliame Ngavoka, has told fellow Sidelpa MP Moses Mbulitavu to get his facts right. This came after Mbulitavu refused to recognize the appointment, saying he and others are compiling paperwork to seek legal actions against the appointment criteria. Apinisa Wangarandovo reports Mbulitavu says the court is the rightful place to address the grievances, but Ngavoka says his colleague is wasting his time. This also on a day when former opposition leader Rote Mumukepa revealed that she was part of the process to appoint the new leader.
MP Moses Mbulitavu says Viliame Ngavoka should do the honorable thing and step down.
If an appointment is not done in accordance with the Constitution and the resolution, I still do not recognize them.
Mbulitavu, who is leading the charge to remove Ngavoka, says they will seek legal action.
Once you are not answered, you have to go for justice to be addressed somewhere else. And I think that the court has the answer.
Ngavoka saying Mbulitavu is wasting his time.
That will come to nothing. That will come to nothing. We will be addressing some of those issues, and he's primarily concerned about the way the process was done.
Meanwhile, also today, Rote Mumukepa, who was a victim of Mbulitavu's plot in 2014 to remove her as leader, says the criteria were thoroughly followed.
I have been part of the process in the selection of the party leader and the deputy party leader, likewise with the general secretary earlier on. So the same process was followed, very rigorous and transparent, and I believe that we had a very good outcome.
Ngavoka says the Sidelpa's grievance committee will go through Mbulitavu's concerns. Apiniso Wangarandovo, FBC News.
The man referred to as only being consistent in his inconsistencies has been at it once again. Since last week, the ousted Sidelpa leader Sitiveni Rambuka has started to once again live up to his moniker from the 1990s, when he was constantly caught contradicting his own statements. The last few days have been no different, with several typical contradictory statements by Rambuka, leaving his supporters and detractors within Sidelpa confused about his exact position and reaction to his embarrassing rejection by his own party.
Last Friday, after the management board meeting, Sitiveni Rambuka told media different versions of what he is planning to do. This was him to FBC News on the mentioned day.
The people who stand with me may want to form a new party and continue to champion the philosophies I stand with.
In the same interview, he says his political philosophy is well and alive, and he will consider his next move after Parliament is dissolved in 2022. What caught the eye of many was that on the same day he told other media very different things. Rambuka telling CFL that he will not form a new party and stick it out with Sidelpa for the next election. The next day, during the Sidelpa AGM and speaking to media, Rambuka once again changing his tune. He said,
No, I will not form a new political party. This party carries what I believe should be done in Fiji, so I will stay with the party.
And on his social media page, Rambuka said he was not ready to abandon ship. The confusion keeps going. Most are now anticipating what Rambuka will say next. It will come as no surprise if it is another change in tune. Apiniso Wangarandovo, FBC News.
The local government ministry is looking at introducing heavy penalties for those commercial building owners who are not carrying out timely maintenance on their properties. Minister Kumar says the deteriorating buildings in towns and cities, sitting among some of the shiny new structures, are becoming an eyesore. More than a year ago, the Minister for Economy highlighted the same issue. However, nothing seems to have changed since then. Pranita Prakash reports.
The local government minister says some commercial building owners are not reinvesting in upgrading the properties, hence giving the towns and cities a gloomy look.
And some of them, they live abroad, so they're not even here. And they're not bothered because every month the rent is paid into their account. But this needs to change. You know, some of these dilapidated buildings that you see in a really bad, terrible condition.
Some of the tenants who spoke on the condition of anonymity says they are being charged around $2,500 to $7,000 rent for shops which are in a terrible state.
It's leaking from all places. It's either ceiling, walls, drainage issues, toilet issues, sewer line breaking into our building, water seeping from the sewer line into our storage area.
There was like a flooding, like the whole salon was underwater. And I was called early in the morning to come and open up the salon because they saw the water coming up from the salon. And so we had to come. We actually spent more than half the day trying to get the water back into place. And then
the water is going out there, so we came complaining it, but nothing happened so far.
The local government ministry assures this issue will be addressed soon.
We are reviewing Town and Country Planning Act at the moment, and there will be provisions for us to put fines or some warning letters that needs to go to the building owner to renovate their property.
The minister says municipal councils will soon be moving towards digitization, where proper details of various buildings and their owners will be kept. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The new Parliament session has begun with the President this morning laying out the legislative agenda for the coming year. As part of his opening address, Major General retired Chiochi Kondrote reiterated that building economic resilience and recovery remains the priority of the Fijian government. Koroi Tandulala reports.
The President highlighted that Fiji's sense of patriotism and cooperation resulted in the successful containment of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Mistake. Our ability to re-establish the strong economy we have built over so many years is very much at stake. Our people's livelihoods are at stake. And building our economy back will take an effort as decisive, as cooperative and as patriotic as what it took to contain the virus itself.
The President also stressed that government must make every effort to realize Fijians' civil, political and socio-economic rights.
Alongside the right to health is the right to economic participation, the right to water, the right to education, the right to work and a just minimum wage, the right to food and water, and other rights which are all pivotal to the liberty and well-being of every Fijian.
President Kondrote says the government will be focusing on 3 key areas to bring help to Fiji as a nation and her people.
The government's focus in this parliamentary session will be centered on 3 key priorities: our containment of COVID-19, our economy's recovery, and our response to the climate, oceans, and biodiversity crisis.
The President has also highlighted some of the bills that will be debated next year.
Parliament will consider the climate change bill, intellectual property laws, patents, trademarks and design bills, the volatile substances abuse control bill, the search and rescue bill, the child justice bill.
He also thanked the members of the Parliament and all personnel who participated in commemorating Fiji's milestone achievement, the 50th anniversary. Koroi Tandulala, FBC News.
Up ahead, National Disability Directory to be launched this week. And man up and get tested, males told.
मैं टोटली दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
A National Disability Directory will be launched this week. It will be a one-stop shop for people with disabilities. The Spinal Injury Association says COVID-19 brought unique challenges for their members, but within these challenges, they found new opportunities.
The directory is being touted as a great tool for persons with disability.
We're going to be launching the National Disability Directory. we should indicate all the disability service provider organizations, and the information in terms of who they are, what they're about, so that nationally persons with disability or other networks can tap into this direction and actually receive the assistance, the support services that they are actually after.
Wakaniasi says following the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, they are now pushing to become more visible, so their views are taken on board on important matters.
And it's a celebration for persons with disability that we are pushing to be part and ensure to have a bigger visibility in the new space globally as we move forward. Also highlighting is that what we can do to ensure that society post-COVID is one that is engaging, one that is interactive, one that is very, very, very inclusive.
When we're putting together recovery plans from COVID and all the challenges that it's brought to the economic sector, social sector, whatever sector, health sector that we're talking about, that the unique lived experiences of persons living with disabilities is taken into account, and that can only be done by them.
International Day of Persons with Disabilities will be celebrated on Thursday, and the minister says Fiji has made great progress in the area.
As a country for Fiji, it's something that we should all be proud of the great achievements that have been made in the past few years in putting together a legal platform, and also the policy that surrounds that legal platform that has enhanced the lives of persons living with disabilities in Fiji.
Persons with disabilities faced many challenges between March and May, and these were uncertain times due to the pandemic. Travel restrictions and social distancing affected their daily lives, and they mostly rely on others to carry out their daily chores. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
It's better to be bold and get tested than to be ashamed and dead. Testicular cancer survivor Amitesh Narayan says many patients fear the stigmatization and victimization which leads to late presentation. Doctors say testicular cancer is a very rare form of cancer, but if left untreated, it kills young men in a year or two. Kritika Kumar reports.
Amitesh Narayan says countering the notion that testicular cancer is embarrassing and a taboo continues to be a challenge for the survivors.
I didn't turn up to doctors. I discussed with a couple of friends. They said it's just regular. It will just go away soon. So I was away from hospital for quite some time until January, when the back pain and the lump got me really stuck on.
Narayan believes family support is one thing that has encouraged him to fight the battle.
One of your family members is going through or fighting the cancer. I would strongly suggest that you support them mentally, physically, and be with them through that tough times, because personally for me that was one of the most stressful and distressing moments in my life.
Dr. Akash Prasad says if testicular cancer is diagnosed in the first stage, then the survival rate is 99%. Dr. Prasad says many men do not visit the doctors as the lump or bump in the testes is not painful.
If it doesn't give any pain, they usually don't present, and they do present when they have other symptoms of this metastatic disease, or when the cancer spreads everywhere and they start having other symptoms, and then they present.
Testicular cancer affects those between the ages of 15 and 35. Since 2018, the Fiji Cancer Society has recorded 11 testicular survivors. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
3 men who allegedly assaulted an Alsori bus driver resulting in his death will make their plea next week. Mikaele Lawaniale, Choseteki Rokondakunivosa and Isikeli Langimbalavu appeared in the High Court this morning. A defense lawyer had requested the 3 to be jointly charged, while lawyers for the 2 others wanted the charges to remain as they stood. The state today objected to that, and the 3 are now charged with one count of manslaughter each. It is alleged that they unlawfully assaulted bus driver Subhash Chand in Nausori on the 3rd of last month, causing his death. The matter has been adjourned to next Tuesday. Bank of South Pacific Life Insurance has stressed the need for medical and health champions in the workplace. The bank reports that only 15% of Fiji's 900,000 population have health insurance. BSP Life Managing Director Michael Navola says the highest number of medical claims they have is from people between the ages of 31 and 40, and 53% of death claims are from those between the ages of 40 and 54. Vinina Rakautonga has more.
Physical wellness should be addressed at workplaces as employees spend most of their time at work.
So if there's a big learning that we'd like to promote with the HR practitioners is make sure that we learn from the pandemic, and as we go forward, encourage people to look after their health. Wellness physically will help you wellness mentally. That means you can be productive at work.
Nadola says human resources practitioners play an important role in this.
Someone needs to be the champion of this. And if you believe it's an issue that needs addressing, and HR champions it and gets the advocacy going within the organizations, particularly from the top, hopefully you can see incremental change over time.
FHRI President Kameli Mbatiweti says it starts from the heads of the organizations.
That is what needs to be taken across the board to all organizations. Individuals need to understand the dynamics of good health results in good productivity.
From 2015 to 2019, BSP Life has recorded 148,295 medical-related claims. Venina Rakautonga, FBC News.
And Alpanisa joins us now with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. And yes, you'll be surely missed by all of us, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors. Coming up, new fuel prices announced. And in growing Fiji, resort tries to keep maximum staff employed. Stay with us.
Pula natang ko proslan ngarse, ngor kraki. Do televizyon na barong na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
New fuel prices come into effect from tomorrow. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission says the retail price for unleaded will decrease 1 cent from $1.92 to $1.91 per litre. The price of premix will drop 2 cents from $1.55 to $1.53 per litre, while the price of kerosene remains the same at $1 per litre. The retail LPG price for 4.5 kg cylinder will increase from $11.49 to $11.91. A 12 kg cylinder tomorrow increases to $31.77, while a 13 kg cylinder goes to $34.42. Bulk gas will cost $2.23 and auto gas $1.49. The next fuel price review will be done on January 1st. The Fiji Cooperative Dairy Company Limited has recorded positive results, says Chair Simon Cole. Speaking after its 6th annual general meeting in Osori, Cole said the company is reporting increased production, continued cost cutting, and the decline of the impact of TB on the industry. For the first time, a non-government company has used the Fijian Elections Office to conduct an election voting for its new board of directors. Cole says there were contentious elections in the past, and the idea of using the Elections Office to address potential controversy was welcomed by the shareholders, and it worked. The new directors on the board are Mahendra Singh, Kashmir Singh, Martin Compain, Dhirendra Prakash, and Jagdish Chandra. Sinifa from HFC Bank joins us now with the latest from the money market.
A quick look at the South Pacific Stock Exchange last week. The market value fell by 4.28% and concluded at $3.3 billion. 30 stock transactions with an approximate volume of 110,000 shares and total value of $207,000 were recorded. On the foreign exchange front, the US dollar fell to a 2-year low as vaccine optimism and hope of more monetary easing in the US drives investors out of the world's reserve currency. Meanwhile, China's November factory activity expanded at the fastest pace in 3 years, keeping it on track to be the first major economy to fully recover from the pandemic. However, surging infections and fresh lockdowns affecting its key trading partners could dent demand for Chinese exports. Closer to home, New Zealand's ANZ's business confidence and activity outlook numbers for November marked trade positive figures, both showing increases. That's all for now from HFC Bank, Vinaka.
Here are the local exchange rates as set early this morning. The Fiji dollar was pegged higher against the currencies of trading giants China and the USA, but lost ground against the regional and other foreign currencies we cover as major market fluctuations continue. Prices on the commodities market were mixed. Oil prices held fairly steady at over $45 a barrel. Gold showed a moderate decline to close at $1,774 per ounce, and silver closed down at $22.12 per ounce. 308 permanent staff of the Shangri-La Fijian Resort on another island in Singatoka have maintained their jobs despite COVID-19. Resident manager Chris Hamilton says they are working various shifts. Kelly Vadala reports.
The resort normally operates with 700 staff, but because of the current situation, around 300 employees are still on stand down.
And it's one of the proudest things that I reflect on this year is the way our teams embrace these changes. So we do have an incredibly united and strong team here at the resort, and the way that they've taken on the education process around how to deal with COVID and the change in their work schedules is just been admirable. The resilience they've shown and the commitment is something that I constantly reflect on and feel really proud to be a part of.
Staff Rami Sonivalu, who is working on reduced hours, says majority of them had to adjust to the current situation.
And the staff are laid off. And for us here, we are on reduced hours, which is 3 days. When saying that we mostly come during the weekends, since it is the peak period on every weekends.
In an effort to assist staff that are no longer employed at the resort, Hamilton says they provide food hampers and cash support every month to each family. Hamilton stresses that it's important their staff still feel connected to the resort.
They know we still really value them and that we can't wait to see them back. And we also get to catch up for some laughs.
The resort has been getting locals taking advantage of the special weekend package. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
That's all from Business Tonight. Jamie joins us now with the latest from sports.
Thanks, Apanisa, and good evening. In Sports Tonight, new sevens rips monitored. And touch rugby casts net wide. There's some more coming up.
कुमार स्वामी नायक है गोमवा लेबू लटौका रेडियो फीजी 2 में
The new additions to the national men's sevens squad will be tested on how well they can maintain the qualities they were chosen for and their adaptiveness to the team culture. Head coach Gareth Baber says two of the new inclusions, Willie Cassandriu and Chone Manu, earned their places through impressive speed and skill. And now the real test to make the final cut will be consistency.
Well, Drew was finishing. You know, I mean, you can't take it away that, Nandi's performance is a lot of it. And some of the tries he scored, it's what sevens is about. It's about scoring tries. And if you've got somebody who's confident to do that, it's fantastic to have. Johnny Manu is what we call a playmaker. And he plays the game like that. The thing that I want to find out about Johnny a little bit was, how fit he was and what is his work ethic like around. And I've been very impressed with what he's done so far.
Touch Rugby's targeted approach to increase participation in Fiji is bearing some fruit. With the season well underway, Touch Federation Fiji is happy to see the sport growing at both district and national level. Caroline Tavi with the details.
Come the new year, Touch Federation Fiji is expecting new clubs to join the sport.
So there's plans that an association be established for Lautoka, and there's already work on the ground in ensuring that happens. And for Nasinu Association will be beginning in December.
Suva Touch Federation Vice President Savanatha Vodea says the door is still open for clubs from outside Suva to join.
So, and there has been interest even after the season has started for teams to come in.
unfortunately we had to close it off. But we hope we're still in talks with these new clubs, and hopefully we can get them on board next year.
The upcoming Fabulous 5 next February will be an avenue for the Federation to explore the untapped talent in the country.
Going forward, Touch Fiji will use this platform to be selecting its national sides. So things are work in progress, and we'll continue to explore opportunities for us in exposing our elite talent.
The Fabulous 5 competition will see 5 men's teams and 5 women's teams competing in Suva. Carlini Tavi, FBC Sports.
There's been some major upsets recorded in the Digicel Suva Volleyball Weekly League. Going into the 5th round this Saturday, officials say they are astounded with some of the results so far. Tali Materakula with the story.
Some of the newly formed teams are slowly making a name for themselves, stunning some of the best teams in the competition.
Last week, the champion after the knockout, Avengers for Men, they lost to Aries, one of the totally new team, and the women as well. All Stars beat Mighty Heights, who just enjoyed being a champion for a week.
Interim President Kemuelina Ingama says their performance has been outstanding.
That's surprisingly, and that's a big surprise for us officials. So the result is a mixed result, and it's just been very competitive.
One of the oldest members of the Suva Volleyball Association, the Tamavua Celtics, has joined the weekly league in an effort to revamp the club.
There's a lot of challenges, especially when there's a bunch of new young boys coming into the team. In the past, the Tamavua Celtics team has produced a number of national reps, the likes of Chichiwa, Sepetsi, and now we are trying to revive Celtics volleyball again.
The weekly league continues Saturday at the LICI Multipurpose Court in Lovala Bay, Suva. Parliamentary, FBC Sports.
FMF Foods Limited is now the official sponsor of the Ratu Sukuna Bowl. FMF put pen to paper today after signing a memorandum of understanding with the Republic of Fiji Military Forces and the Fiji Police Force to sponsor the tournament for the next 3 years. RFMF Commander Rear Admiral William Naupoto says the sponsorship is timely given the current circumstances brought about by the pandemic. Naupoto says this will also help with the RFMF initiative to assist children affected financially by COVID-19.
So thankful to FMF for coming on board this year. I know it is for 3 years. Certainly the sponsorship will allow us to free up a little bit more of whatever gate takings we get and channel it towards the kids that, and keep their dreams and hopes alive.
The pressure builds for defending Vodafone Fiji FAC champions Easy Cool Nandi, having to wait for a decision on the resumption of their semi-final match against the Food City Ashcuts and Styles sponsored Rewa. The side has been under the spotlight for their performance this season, with coach Kamal Swami heavily scrutinized by fans in Fiji and abroad. Now with a 1-0 advantage in the deferred semi-final clash, Swami, while making no promises, says the team will give it their best.
It is a lot of pressure, especially as a defending champion, plus our fans, as you know, they're in media. But we'll try our best. As we look at our team, it's a young team with only 3 senior players. But we'll do our best and we'll try and win.
Edinson Cavani came off the bench to inspire a stunning Manchester United comeback as they turned around a 2-goal deficit to secure a superb 3-2 victory at Southampton. The 33-year-old Uruguayan striker was a half-time replacement and did not disappoint. One of the oldest boxing clubs in the Central Division, the Nakasi Boxing Club, is back in business. The recently revived club is ready to take the ring and compete in Fiji's amateur boxing tournaments. Club President Jeremiah Munimasi is impressed with the increasing number of young kids that have shown interest in joining the club.
So we are very fortunate that for this season, the young kids are also involved, and we've got most of our young boys and also who are in primary school and also in secondary school.
In play of the day, Steve Smith scoring his second century in as many games as Australia beat India by 51 runs in the second one-day cricket international to win the series. Smith hit 14 fours and 2 sixes on his way to another aggressive century. That's it from sports tonight. Coming up in new media, virtual reality becoming a real work tool. Jackie Spate joins you with the details after the break in what will be her last segment on FBC News. So before I go, I'd just like to say thank you, Jackie, for putting up with my antiques in studio for the last 8 years. It's been an honor and delight presenting news alongside you. I think I now need to find someone else to irritate with my out-of-tune singing fits during the commercial breaks. I hate to admit this to you, my frenemy, but you will be missed dearly by me and, of course, your viewers. I wish nothing but the best for you in your next journey. Nisamwadi, Jackie.
Thank you so much.
Baik, jadi mereka tahu रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
Once the preserve of gamers with deep pockets, the pandemic is giving virtual reality the boost it needs to go mainstream. VR is fast becoming the tool most offices are turning to. And in weather tonight, it was fine across most of Fiji. A quick look at the weather map. The west was sunny and warm with just a trace of cloudiness. Eastwards from Pacific Harbour to Suva, generally sunny. And up north, more sunshine. At sea, southerly winds at 15 to 20 knots and moderate seas. Turning to the tides, the next low tide is at 2:02 a.m., followed by high tide at 8:12 a.m. Sunrise is at 6:21. Now for tomorrow, fine weather is forecast for tomorrow with the chance of scattered showers in the east. And our further outlook, we're looking further on to Wednesday. Expect the good weather to continue. And in Fiji on Pulse, we asked, are you aware of the symptoms of prostate cancer?
I don't know much about the prostate cancer, but what I know it's a disease from the male organ.
I had prostate cancer, but I'm not much aware about how it's formed and like I don't know much about the prostate cancer.
Yes, I am aware of the dangers of prostate cancer, and I think there should be more awareness on men.
Yes, I am aware of the signs and symptoms of prostate cancer. However, I believe more awareness is still needed.
And recapping the main stories for tonight, stop wasting time, Rambuka tells fellow SEDELP MP. State of some buildings, a major concern, and economic resilience and recovery tops Fiji's agenda. Now for these stories and others, tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Our poll question, last week we had asked, should there be criminal charges on teachers using corporal punishment? 70% answered yes. And this week we're asking, should Viliamanga Voka be given the position of opposition leader? Visit our FBC website to answer. And on to today's shot of the day. First one for the week, absolutely gorgeous one, and this was taken at Mana Island and sent in by John. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, by Facebook page FBC News, and our Twitter page at FBC_news, or you can simply hashtag FBC News. And now it's that time where I say goodnight, but before that, I just want to say that it's hard to walk away from what I honestly think is the best job in the world. It's been a great privilege being in the anchor chair for FBC News since its inception in 2012. Reaching this decision was not easy, but after a lot of prayers and consideration, I have decided to move on. It has been an honor working with my news family, the reporters, presenters, directors and staff whom I have unbounded respect for. This has been for me, as it has been for others who have left us, and for those still here, a labor of love. I sincerely thank you, the viewers, for investing trust in us every single night. I leave with great gratitude, and for the last time, I bid you all good night. Vinaka vakalevu, dhanyavad faeksia. Thank you. Stay safe, Fiji. Nisa modamapa.
कुमार साहब ने नायक है गोंगवा लुगु लटोका रेडियो फीजी 2 में पुराना गाना लगे हमें बहुत अच्छा लगे।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।